Let's get started with cloning our repository. Here's the link to our stable master build. I'm just going to clone it to an empty folder on my desktop. You'll see it popping up right here. All the code, perfect. Let's go ahead and build this. It's going to take some time. Let's get started with the introductions. My name is Luis Gonzalez. I am representing Team Erklärungsnot, which consists of David, Chris, Jacob, Shai, and myself, Luis. While this is building, let's introduce the main goals as well. We wanted to transform the Memoranda software into a Scrum board. The two main objectives would be to have the ability to create a product backlog and a sprint backlog. Also the ability to create teams so that we could assign team members to different tasks within each sprint. And since it's still taking some time to build, let's go ahead and check out our burn down chart. As you can see here, this was our Scrum board for our project. We did work consistently, but we just didn't work fast enough. It would have been better if we could have seen a steeper slope, but the fact that we're seeing a consistent slope shows that we worked consistently, and I'm proud of the team. Let's go see if our system has built as well. We're using the Gradle automated build system to not only compile and run our code, but to do all our JUnit testing, as well as like our Jacoco check style spot bugs testing. It should be done building here. We get the successful message. Let's go ahead and run the program so you can see it in action. Again, we changed the name to Scrumptious because it's a Scrum board. Let's go ahead and create our first sprint. Give it an end date of next month, just for. As you can see here, we changed the sprint panel to backlog panel, contributions from Chris and Luis. We also made all the icons consistent across the board, thanks to contributions from Shai and Jacob. Let's go ahead and create a few user stories here in our backlog. The most important difference you'll see in our new user story is this point system. What we wanted to do was pivot away from using a nominal ranking, to a Fibonacci-based point system, just to rank the user stories here. All right, now if we go to a sprint, we could also add new user stories to a sprint as well. One of the major differences you'll see here is that we have the ability to assign a team member and to change the status of the task as well, depending on if it's in progress, testing, or completed. Let's go ahead and add another user story here, and then we'll add a few tasks. Add one task to each user story just to show some examples here. So let's call this task number 1. Okay, and then let's add one more task, task 2. Okay, so now if we want to assign tasks, we need to create a team first. Now, since David made the biggest contributions to this feature, let's go ahead and add David first. Then just going to add a few people in our team just to make things simple. Now, if we go back to our tasks, we can go ahead and assign David to one of them. So thank you, David, for adding this feature. And the status feature was implemented by Chris, actually. So now we have the ability to change it to in testing. And Chris also implemented this up here in the toolbar to show the status. And again, we could assign you could self-assign or assign to team members. There's a few other fields that you could mess around with, but don't have to. Now, some of the other features that were implemented during this sprint was a wiki page that was created by Nal, the user interface, the button, So thank you so much for that. This will help us keep track of important team updates. And those were the major features that were implemented during Sprint 3. Thank you so much for listening.